Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you read by the title, today I'm going to be doing my top 5 favorite drugstore concealers. So I'm super excited to do this because you guys know I'm a drugstore stan and I am always looking for the best deals, and I never want to like overpay or anything because I know the drugstore has been stepping it up in the past few years. So I found my favorite concealers, and I wouldn't even say necessarily just for the drugstore. In general, these are some of my favorite concealers ever that I have ever used, and I have used a lot. So I will go into that in just a moment. Before I do, I'd really appreciate it if you like, commented, and subscribed, and also followed me on my social media, which I'll link up here somewhere and down below. And now without further ado, we can jump right into the video. Alright, so let me jump into the first concealer. I'm just going off of what I have right in front of me. This is in no particular order. The first one I want to mention is the ColourPop No Filter concealer. I am in the shade Light 16. Now this concealer has been out for a few years now. I want to say for about 2 to 3 years, and I personally really love it. To begin with, it has a wand applicator, which I love. I don't know why, but I feel like for a lot of the drugstore concealers, a lot of them have like brush applicators or the ones with the little sponges, and I just feel like that's really like not sanitary to just continuously use. So I really love using this wand applicator. Okay, so the No Filter concealer is actually $7. Now I will say the only place that I saw that you can get this is ColourPop's website. I tried to look for it in Ulta's website and also in the stores, and they don't carry it at Ulta. I'm not too sure why. So unfortunately, due to COVID-19, ColourPop's warehouse is like shut down right now, so you aren't able to get it. I don't think. I'll update it if I see any more information on ColourPop's warehouse down below. But yes, so anyways, the ColourPop concealer is $7, and it did come out a few years back with their No Filter foundation. It's a great line. It really is true to its name. It kind of gives that filter effect to your skin, kind of like Facetune does. It just makes your skin look super seamless and smooth. And I will say that the concealer under the eye is just amazing. You don't have to smooth anything out. Even before you put on like translucent powder or anything, it just completely looks super smooth, and all my pores are completely gone. And I just really like this, and I actually like it paired with another concealer I'm gonna mention. I'll talk about that in a little bit when I actually bring up that concealer. So they have on the ColourPop website, I actually had to count these, so I don't know if I'm off, but I counted 29 total shades, which is a pretty good shade range, especially for how affordable it is. Of course, they can always do better, just like every drugstore brand can do better with the shade range, but 29 is a great place to start. And I will say that although this is super like full coverage, it's so lightweight. It is one of the most lightweight concealers I'm bringing up today, just because I don't even know, it just feels like nothing's there, and you would think it would have no coverage at all with how thin it is, but when you blend it out, it gives the most beautiful coverage. So if you're someone who doesn't like the really heavy creamy feel, you'll really enjoy the ColourPop concealer the best. So whether you have drier skin, oilier skin, normal combo skin, you'll enjoy this. Alright guys, so the next concealer I want to talk about is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer and Contour. So it looks like this, and I absolutely love the Conceal and Define line. As again, if you didn't check out my top 5 foundation video, I actually mentioned the foundation that goes with this. I don't know what it is with this line. It's just all around one of the most perfect formulas I have ever tried, foundation wise and concealer wise. It just blends out so easily. The minute you apply it onto your skin, it looks like it's your skin. So lightweight, it still gives you that full coverage without feeling dry. It's just one of my biggest pet peeves is when I put on a concealer and it's just so dry that it's almost hard to blend. This one, I will say the formula is just so silky smooth. You can blend it out with ease, and it just blends like a dream. It's like like a medium to full coverage. This is the concealer I actually pair with my ColourPop. I use both of them together and it gives me the most gorgeous under eye ever. That is actually what I have on today, and these two are just make magic together. Like I said, this one is more medium coverage, medium to full, definitely buildable. If you build this one up on its own, you will not even feel it on your skin because of how lightweight it is. So this one is also $7 and it comes in 45 shades, which is incredible. That is so many shades, so you can definitely find your perfect match based on your undertone and all of that. Definitely recommend that one as well. So the next one I'm gonna mention, I'm sure it's not gonna come as a surprise to anyone watching this and who's been like a subscriber of mine, because I use this in pretty much all my videos, and that is the e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer. So this is what it looks like, and I have the shade Medium Sand. So it comes in 23 shades. I actually went to the e.l.f. store that they have here at my mall. They actually had a freestanding store, and the girl there kind of like scared me because I was looking at like medium shade concealers, and this was when they first released, and the girl's like, oh my god, it oxidizes so much, like you need to use way lighter than that, because just looking at your complexion, and she had a darker complexion than mine, she's like, oh, I use even way lighter than what you're looking at, and I was looking at like medium something, so I was like, oh my god, okay. So she scared me so much that this concealer was gonna oxidize. She told me like 4 to 5 shades or something that it would oxidize, so I was very scared, and I trusted her because she worked there. So I ended up getting the e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Warm. So this was one of the first shades in the shade range. And guys, when I tell you, I did a full face using e.l.f. makeup and I actually had to refilm it. I used this and it completely washed me out. It was so light. It was way too light, and I just waited for it to oxidize, and it did not oxidize, guys. I don't know what the girl was thinking. I don't know what kind of concealer she had, but this did not oxidize on me at all. When I finally got this correct shade, I tried it on, and it is definitely one of the most beautiful concealers. Like I said, it's a little more mattifying than hydrating, I will say that. So if you're more normal to oily skin, you'll really like this concealer like I do. I'm more normal to dry, but I really hydrate my eyes beforehand. So if you're someone who has drier skin and you're afraid to try it, they do have a hydrating version of this, and it's the same exact formula, just more dewy and more hydration in the under eye. I have that one as well, so I personally love both of them, but I go in with this original one. So I love it. This one is only $6, and for the price, you really like, you can't even like, in general, it's better than some of the high-end concealers I've tried. It's just so full coverage. It leaves your under eye so seamless. You do have to work with it kind of quickly when you apply it. You can't let it dry down too much, or then it kind of gets hard to blend. But that's what makes it so full coverage, is that it does have that mattifying effect. So when you do blend it out, it's like, it's so full coverage, guys, but it doesn't feel that heavy on the eyes. I'm very careful with what I put in my eye area because, you know, wrinkles. But yeah, this one doesn't feel heavy on the skin, and it's definitely one of my favorite full coverage concealers. So the next concealer I want to mention is the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD concealer. So it's the OG. I call this like the OG concealer of the makeup community, just because when I first started getting into makeup, this was like the go-to concealer, and even though it's been like 5 to 6 years or something, I still love this concealer with all my heart. I have tried to replace it, I have tried to stop using it, and I just can't, and I would definitely recommend, and it's also one of the most affordable ones from what I'm mentioning here. So this costs $4.99, and depending on where you get it, you can get it for as low as like $2. I know at a lot of beauty supply stores you can get it for like $2. So this is the most beautiful concealer ever. I know I'm saying about all of them, but really this is like the OG, guys. A lot of makeup artists use this just because of how versatile it is, and the shade range as well, and also the color correcting shades. So they have a total of 43 shades, and that includes their color correcting shades. So they have like the green, the peach, which is one I use for under my eyes before my foundation and concealer. I always go in with the LA Girl Peach Corrector every single time. That's what I have on under my foundation and stuff today. This is one that is made for like all skin types, no matter if you're drier, oilier, it's like perfect no matter what. I love the way it blends out, and also a little bit goes a long way for this one. You don't need to add a lot just because of how far it blends out. So I use this to both highlight and contour, and it's never let me down. And if you're someone watching this and you haven't tried it, go try it. Like, there's a reason everyone was hyped on it and is still hyped on it. It's because it's definitely one of the best concealers. So the next one I'm gonna mention, and the last one, is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. I have the shade Classic Ivory, but yeah, I use this to really brighten up my under eye. That's what my intention when I purchased it was, to get like a highlighting concealer, and it does a really great job. I will say that this is so similar to the 16 Hour Camo concealer. They're almost identical. They're the same consistency. They're mattifying, so you'll like it if you're more on the oil, like normal to oily skin type. And yeah, it kind of looks almost the same. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but they just feel the same in my under eye area. It's like super full coverage. It dries down quicker than all the other concealers. But yeah, it's a great one as well. So if you see the CoverGirl one and you can't find the e.l.f. one or whatever, or vice versa, try the other one out because it's pretty much the same thing. So the CoverGirl concealer is $9, so it's kind of like in the middle. And the one thing I found out was a big con in comparison to all the other concealers I mentioned was that this only had 15 shades. In comparison to all the other ones I mentioned, they had like 20, some had 40 shades. So all the other ones had a pretty great shade range, but this one had the worst. This was my least favorite shade range just because it was only 15. It pretty much was like all classic ivories and then like 3 dark shades at the end, and all the ivories looked identical. So I don't even know, but yeah, that was just my opinion. But I really do like the way it feels in my under eyes, so that's why I mentioned it on here. But I definitely feel like they could do better with the shade range, and hopefully they will as time moves forward. But yeah, those are just my top 5 favorite concealers in the past few years. I've just tried a lot. Trust me, I have so many concealers, and these are my favorites, especially from the drugstore. These are just some of my favorites and ones I can always count on to make me look snatched. And that is pretty much it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will definitely catch you guys in my next one.